rest. Therapists, counselors, psychologists, and helping professionals often dream about vacation as the solution to exhaustion. But what if your constant desire to get away is signaling something deeper? In this episode of Girl Talk Mental Health, the Therapist Takeover, I have a special guest, Miss Aleah Curley, and she is going to explore the critical difference between genuine restoration and emotional avoidance. So, welcome her to the stage.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm well. Can't
Good.
complain.
Well, let the audience know a little bit about who's about to grace them with this knowledge today.
Yes, well, I am the newly named Dr. Aleah Curley.
Okay, we'll put a doctor on it. Sorry, you should have told me that from the beginning, baby.
It's okay. It's okay. It's new to me and I'm still human. So I rarely ever actually say doctor. I'm like, I'm Aleah. But I am Aleah Curley, Dr. Aleah Curley, and I am a counselor in Arkansas, and I'm also licensed in Missouri. I am a St. Louis native, and I currently reside in Arkansas with my lovely husband and our cute little Frenchie puppy who is driving us crazy. Yeah.
Okay, he might try to make an appearance today too. You know, they always try to make an appearance when they see
Oh,
you doing something, those pets.
yes, she is where she's supposed to be so that she does not make an appearance
Okay.
today.
All right, ma'am. You ready to dive into this impactful conversation today?
Absolutely.
So, first thing, when does the healthy desire for rest cross over into emotional avoidance?
Well, if and I say this sometimes myself, if I feel as if I am crawling on gravel to my vacation, then just maybe I needed it long before then.
Uh,
And you have already been running away from emotions and just feeling what you've been feeling when doing the work that we do. If you are working with patient after patient or client after client, depending on what state you're in or how you say it, but you get tired. You do. And you're taking in a lot of information. And if you are not taking the time to even just check in with yourself, and notice that, okay, I'm not really feeling anything actually. And it could be on purpose. It could be, not on purpose. You just have built that wall for yourself so that you can keep showing up for your, clients. That's amazing. However, it does turn into feeling like you are crawling on gravel to your vacation.
yeah, that's
That
a
if
good
you're
saying.
a metaphor gets it every time. It's a visual aid because I truly have been there before, and I now why I have not crawled on gravel. I certainly wouldn't want to, but that is the best way for me to explain that your vacation is too late.
Yeah, it helped me visualize it. I never really heard it explain it like that because I know I have done that as well. I'm like, I'm supposed to be on vacation. Why am I so tired? How am I going to enjoy the vacation if I'm so tired?
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's
You're
a
in extreme restoration at that point. You're not
good thing.
you're like being triaged at an emergency room. You're no longer just going on a vacation.
And then once those 3 or 4 days of vacation time is over, then you finally done gotten to a relaxed mood. It's time to go.
Absolutely. You're returning and you're not actually as restored as you hoped you would be.
hmm So how can people recognize? Well, you just said it a little bit, but so that they'll know that that's a key that they can recognize it. How can they recognize the difference within themselves? And you said it a little bit, but just so they'll know that this is really how you
Yeah.
recognize that.
I think about it this way too. If before then, right? You're doing telehealth, you're in a clinic, you're at a private practice, whatever that looks like for you. If you are having a day where people are not showing up and you are happy, You are excited about the nap you're about to get, the 30-minute eye blink, or the catch up you might be able to do on some notes, or you're going to spend that entire time like scrolling and trying to check out. There are your signs.
Look, I need
There,
you to get
there
out of
they
my
are.
office, okay? Because you telling too much on me.
I'm sitting in mine. I'm being honest. Look,
Oh my
I
God.
talk from experience. The crawling on the gravel to be like, oh yes, okay, fine. Don't show. I'll take a nap.
Right. Okay. Like, oh, a no show. I'm not even mad at you about me
Mm-hmm.
losing my little change today. I just needed that break.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is crazy that you bring that out like that. So, what about the clinicians who feel guilty about taking time away from their clients? Since we saying that, which we see that we really don't feel guilty, but I know it's like 1% out there who is feeling guilty.
I would say my early years, I did feel guilty, like as a baby counselor, as I call them.
Yeah, a
I did
newbie.
feel guilty because in what that shows is that you care a lot, right? Nobody is in this field because they aren't empathetic, right? You didn't sign up to be a counselor and hear the things that people tell literally nobody else because you do not care about them. And so when you create these connections with each client or patient, you're learning that they're human, whether they even think how you think or not. They're just a human who's having struggles, and your job is to be there for them, help them, figure out ways to better deal with life, and then send them on their way. But as a baby counselor, or maybe a counselor who's still developing some skills in boundaries, you might find that you do feel that guilt, and it's a little stronger than those who have recognized, I have done all I can do, and in order for me to keep doing all I can do, I need this moment and this time away.
Mhm.
And in order to show up for the masses for years to come, I have to take this week, 2 week. Some people are cool enough to even take the month of December. I'm trying to get there. Um,
Me too.
but whatever that looks like, and it's different for each of us, what would be the best time to take and what the best amount of time to take. We have pressures on us, clinics push a bit of productivity at times, and I understand the business side, but you cannot have a business if all your counselors are again crawling to vacation on
Exactly.
gravel.
And I kind of wonder, like, where does that guilt come from? Because, and how can I challenge it? Because I know I deal with that a lot too. I'll already, like at the beginning of the year, I'll have a calendar and I'll be kind of like block out times. I have this idea in my head. Okay, I'm going to take this time off each quarter to build or to rest or whatever. And then here's a client saying, "Oh, I really need to get in." And I look at my calendar. No, that's the day I said I wasn't going to work. And then I end up taking the person anyway because I feel guilty because, oh, I could do it. I'm just taking, I don't need to take off. Like they need me more than I need me.
Which is so not true. They don't need you more than you need you, because you
Right.
can't literally show up for anybody if you don't show up for yourself. It's almost I would consider it a ethics thing, right? If you're not taking that time to restore yourself, the fact that you plan it is amazing, right? Because that is intentionally following
Right.
ethically, making sure that you have time set apart just for you. And if you say, "Oh well, forget my time. I'll see you today." Are you even giving that person your best, or are you thinking about what you were supposed to be doing that hour? And yeah, it's not going to be a bad session. You know what you're doing. You're well skilled. But the point is that your best if you're thinking about the fact that you had plans already
Right. And then you feel guilty
that
if you
day?
didn't take the time off that you said you were going to take off. So it's just guilt
Mhm.
all the way around, a full circle.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you said that
Absolutely.
ethics part because I didn't even really think of it from that standpoint about the ethics because that is one of the ethics of us, taking care of ourselves and that self care part as a therapist. Oh, look at you bringing all these ideas up that I forgot about because I've been a little veteran for a minute.
I mean, you don't think about it though, right? Like you have your set schedule, you know what you need to do for you, and as a veteran, you get to do that. That's amazing. Like, and it's just important that you bring people around to remind you and others about the fact that it is actually ethically sound to take vacations. Okay,
Well, that's a way
you
to challenge it when you are thinking, should I or should I not? But you have to think about like
yeah,
this part of my responsibility as a therapist is that I have to take these times off to refresh and restore so that I could be refreshed and restored for my clients. Oh, that's
absolutely.
good. Look at that. I'm glad you came today.
I'm happy to be here.
So, what are some subtle signs that a therapist may be experiencing burnout?
Oh my goodness. So burnout itself looks like depression, but is usually job related, right? Like or situationally related. You can be burnt out on a relationship or a situation. But if we're talking about as a therapist, dreading going into work or the Sunday scaries as they call them, right? Like
Yeah.
and most people have Sunday scaries, and thinking about going back to work. And that is a small indicator. It doesn't necessarily mean you're definitely burnt out, but it's certainly a sign that you need to assess yourself and see if these other things are going on. If you're having passive suicidality because you are depressed about what the work you're doing, if you are taking it really hard when clients move on, whether it's time for them to move on or, they're not ready to, kind of commit to the process and they've moved on without letting you know. If it's really hitting your heartstrings and you're having to either be completely emotionally avoidant, right? You've lost compassion for that person and maybe why they have walked away before it was time for them to walk away, and you're feeling this anger, then you're definitely having some symptoms of burnout going on.
Now, to help with that guilt a little bit, is what about if you burnt out from your clients or a certain client that comes all the time that always come with something heavy and or the same story and they don't want to take or receive the help and they just in this cycle. Can you be burnt out from that?
I would say you could.
Without feeling guilty.
It's frustrating for sure. I think all of us have been there because avoiding, the hard things in life is something that's human. We do it, and that includes our clients. So if they keep showing up saying the same stuff, that's unfortunately, something that is natural and that we can approach. But I think that that's time to, do also what's ethically correct, and that's supervision or consultation. Like, don't be on an island when you don't have to be on an island by yourself. You reach out, like, and address what you're feeling in the room too. Hey, you keep telling this story over and over again. Like,
Now, Dr.
and
Aleah, I'm gonna have to get you because now I got to go back and read all of my ethics because you just refreshing my memory. Because you work, and you be like you already kind of got it instilled, but it become automatic. But then you're like, let me go back and refresh my mind on some
yeah,
of those ethics because you bringing up some good pointers and relating it to those
mhm.
ethics too, because that helped with the guilt,
Yes, it's the fresh doctor. They're all up there.
right?
They're
You
still
you
right
just
up
closed
in
the
there.
book, yeah. You just closed the book the other day. You still right up in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm glad that
Yes.
we had this opportunity to talk about because I'm serious. You really are helping me to refresh my mind, and it's helping me to deal with my guilt as well. Because ethically, I don't even have to make an excuse for it. Read the ethics of what you should be doing and how you should be conducting
Yeah.
yourself personally. We just think it's professionally, but those
Yeah.
ethics also bridge over to your personal lifestyle, which helps with your professional lifestyle.
Exactly. And most states require you to go by our ethics. So that then makes it law. So
I'm sorry, Mr.
It
Ethics Police. Don't come get me, Mr. Ethics
I'm
Police.
just saying now it's law. So by law I have to take a vacation cuz the state law said to be licensed I need to follow these ethics.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it just, the more you think about it, the easier it gets to say, this is not just for me, but this is ethically sound, this is legally sound, and it also protects everybody that steps into my office or on my
Hmm.
computer.
So while all of the therapists are right here at this moment running to their ethics online and going back to refresh them, let's take a quick commercial break. And I want you all to stay until the end because she's going to have this surprising answer to this question that you need to ponder while you run into that ethics and refreshing your memory. What does true rest look like in this season of your life? And stay tuned, and we'll be right back for the second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
You weren't meant to break. You were set apart. What if your deepest pain was the birthplace of your greatest purpose? Meet Gingerbread, a child caught in the chaos of her mother's depression and suicide attempts. She never asked for trauma, shame, or to feel invisible, but she found something greater. Set Apart, the journey to find hope through loneliness, shame, and death is more than a book. It's the breakthrough you didn't know you needed. If you've ever said, "I'm fine," when you were falling apart. If you've ever thought, "This story isn't for me," it is. Don't let fear, excuses, or busyness rob you of healing. This book will shatter the silence, stir your soul, and remind you, you were never forgotten. You were set apart. Set Apart, the journey to find hope in times of shame, loneliness, and death, by author Virginia Dale Manning. Available now, because hope can't wait.
All right, welcome back to the second half of Girl Talk Mental Health. We are here with Dr. Aleah, and can you hear me?
Mm,
And she is filling us in.
I have lost you. I cannot hear you. I see that you're talking. Mm, I have lost you still. You're unmuted and you're a circle, and I see the thing moving around the circle, so I know you're talking, but I just don't hear anything.
All right, you can hear me now?
Oh,
What's
yes, you're back.
going
I
on?
was just typing you a chat. I was like, I don't know what's going on,
Oh
but
my God.
I lost you.
Well, I'm back. I mean, that's the thing about it was too good. That's what the problem is, that technical issue trying to take us out. It was too good, but we're back. So y'all couldn't do that to us. Y'all not gonna keep us from being ethically rest and peaceful.
Absolutely not. Like,
So are you ready? Let's dive back into this conversation. We wasted enough precious time.
yeah.
All right. So, can you share some practical strategies for creating restorative rhythms throughout the year?
Absolutely. I think that you've already shared one that is really realistic. To just having days that you take time off. I like the quarterly. For those who maybe aren't at a place where they can do that yet, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't do it, right? One day a month, or one week every half year, if not quarterly. Just taking time for yourself. But also it's important to have things that you're doing for yourself on a daily or weekly that's restorative as well, because doing those things makes it so you're not again crawling on gravel to the quarterly or bi-yearly time that you take for yourself, or even the one day a month, because I have been there too. I'm just like, oh, thank God I had this day. And it's sad, but it's real, that you looking forward to this one day, but you don't want to be at a point where you're needing it. You want to be at a point where, okay, lovely, I've set it aside and I get to just reset today, whatever that looks like.
Now the thing I want to think about too is like to compare like therapists who are working in companies and therapists who are working on their own. Because if you're working in your own business, you could pretty much, you flexible. You could kind of almost do what you want to do with your schedule or whatever. But what about those working in companies and businesses where you have to follow, which is one of the reasons why I went to my own practice, because you was working on Memorial Day, this day, that day, like
Yeah.
weekends, nights. If somebody uh didn't call in, you had to go fill in. So it was just like you could never really take breaks the way you kind of needed to take them. So what about those folks? How do they get a rhythm of restorativeness in their life?
Yeah, I could get on a soapbox about the term productivity. Uh, but I will not do that today. I will tell you this, no matter where you're working, because I have heard there's people like just in conversation with other counselors being concerned about taking time, even from private practice, because if you're not working, then you're not making money, right? Like if you're not having an hour sitting with somebody, then you are not actively having income. For both, whether you are bound by productivity or bound by private practice, something daily, whatever that daily rhythm is, or even weekly, right? I have a Sunday thing. I'm not working on Sunday. I'm not taking a meeting on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sundays, your Sunday doesn't have to look like my Sunday, but my Sunday looks like church. And at one point, it was like hot Pilates and coming home and watching football and
Hmm.
doing laundry. Like that seems simple as all get out, but that's the reset for my week, right? And when I didn't have to do homework on a Sunday, being freshly done, then it was even better. Like it was just more restorative for me than it was even then. But having that routine is a part of how I survived a bit of that, doctoral program. And doing that then has helped me now be more intentional about having a restorative rhythm.
Right.
So whatever it looks like for you, that could be the hiking. I'm not going outside. That could that could be the walk, the swimming, the soak, the float, whatever people want to do that brings them a sense of peace or restoration. Like hot Pilates is not easy. Um,
Yeah, but afterwards
but I
the relaxation,
but
the benefits.
absolutely. All my happy chemicals are on 10,000
Mhm.
after that, because it was a super workout. Okay.
Right,
And that's
right.
probably the only one I got all week sometimes, so it's meaningful, and it's something I look forward to without crawling on gravel to get there, if
And
that makes
sometimes to
sense.
do nothing at all. Sometimes you have to lay in the bed and do nothing, and that doesn't mean you're depressed.
Absolutely.
Just you're doing them, days in a row, and depends on the story you're telling yourself
Absolutely.
in your head, which will make it depression. But just to have your body to rest, and your mind doesn't. It's not just your mind that needs to rest and restore. Your body also needs to
Absolutely.
rest and restore too. So sometimes if you just sit around and do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
that's what your
Rest is productive. If
body.
doing nothing is what you need, then do nothing, because that's doing something. It's
Do
just
what you
nothing.
need, okay? The ethics told you to do it. You better do it, okay?
Exactly. If the ethics say lay in bed all day, lay in bed all day.
If that's how you interpreted it. Now we playing, y'all follow those ethics, okay? We're not trying to get anybody to lose their license. Consult with your super,
Don't lose your license because you
your
laid in bed
cohort.
all day.
Yeah, and now you don't want to serve nobody. So for the helping professional that's watching this right now today and who realizes they've been surviving rather than thriving, crawling on rocks, what is one small step they can take this week towards genuine restoration?
Stand up and assess yourself. If that means you need to schedule that well woman visit that you've been putting off, schedule it. If that means that you keep taking PTO and then turning that time back in, don't do that. If that means you need to find your nearest yoga studio, do it. Whatever it is, it's a daily thing. It's small. It's a tiny thing. Even if it's being intentional about giving yourself some affirmation first thing in the morning. You can do this. You've been doing this. And time for rest is coming.
And it doesn't have to be something that's expensive too. People think when they have to take a break or take a rest that they have to go spend money. But no, you don't have
Absolutely.
to. You can find some free
Yeah.
things. Parks are free and your backyard
Yes.
is free and all of that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. So Dr.
Absolutely.
Aleah, see you got me on that doctor thing. Well, I see it say PhD on that, so I should have known. We
Oh,
appreciate
goodness.
you being here and giving us a refresher on that we need to review our ethics, especially the part about the self-care and taking care of ourselves. So let the audience know a little bit about where they can reach you at, or if you have something special you want to talk about, it's your time to shine.
Well, I am not on socials in a professional way. I do have a Facebook page, but unfortunately, I just left private practice work. Um, and currently am putting together a nonprofit. So, I mean, folks could be on the lookout for that a little later. But as of right now, I'm just looking forward to graduation. I finished, defended in November of last year, my dissertation, and will be walking in August. So I'm just grateful for that.
Yeah, that's something to celebrate. Congratulations. And yes,
Thank
we want to
you.
know about the nonprofit when you have it up and running. Is it related to mental health or a different cause?
It is. It is. It'll be domestic violence or interpersonal violence related.
Okay, well, we look forward to it and we appreciate you showing up today. So, if you have been experiencing burnout, compassion fatigue, emotional exhaustion, or difficulty disconnected from work, this conversation offered practical tools, compassion, and insight to help you heal. So, be sure to subscribe, go back and rewatch. Look out for her nonprofit that'll be coming, especially if you are interested in domestic violence and everything. And we appreciate you coming, Dr. Aleah. And we'll see you all next time for another awesome episode of Girl Talk Mental Health.
Thank you for joining us for Girl Talk Mental Health. Remember, your mental health is your wealth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to at Virginia Del Manning.